Sectarianism has had a big impact on society lately. Fans are fed up with it and people want change. This programme will reveal what people are doing to fight it.
Mouth by Mouth was formed in response to the murder of a teenager, a young man by the name of Mark Scott. Mark Scott was returning from a football match when he was about 16 years old. A supporter of a rival football club basically spotted a small green scarf that Mark was wearing, and from that he was enough to assume that Mark was an enemy, that he was a Catholic, that he was a Celtic supporter, that he was somebody that deserved to be hurt. And in that second, a man called Jason Campbell stabbed Mark to death, and Mark died within seconds of being stabbed. So Mark's friend Cara Henderson, who herself was, I think, about 16 years old at the time, Cara was so shocked by this that she decided to set up the first ever anti-sectarian charity in Scotland, and she decided to call it Nil by Mouth, which is kind of the idea of starving bigotry out of existence, similar to the medical term.
Old Firm fans are immensely proud of their club, and a group on Facebook is trying to help change the negativity surrounding their clubs.
Involved in other sort of pages fighting sort of bigotry on Facebook and sectarianism on Facebook. So it was really the sort of thing I wanted to be involved in. So there was about maybe 50 or 60 people on the page when I joined it. I think it's up to 3,600 or something now, you know. So but last April or something, I seen it on the page, that's when I joined it, you know.
Along with fan power, the government want to help change, but face mixed receptions over their plans to help.
I'm all for them, you know, anything you can do to root that out of society, it's all for the better.
Maybe it was more of a problem in the past, maybe. Maybe it's not as big a problem as it was. Maybe it's just essentially two teams.
I don't think it'll help. I think the club needs to lay down the procedures, not the government, personally, for that.
These fans, both blue and green, who are saying they're being criminalised, where was their voice for decades when IRA chants, UDA chants, I mean, we're talking about groups who have murdered people. These chants were on a football terrace, and where was their voice then? So all of a sudden, it's getting put back on the fans saying this is not allowed to happen and we're going to have to implement it and not singing this, not singing that, and the fans feel criminalised. I say too bad.
People are seem to represent organisations. You're talking about fan groups there, the Blue Order and the Green Brigade. That's a tiny percentage of the support of Celtic and Rangers Football Club. And when you think about it, at football matches, you're talking grounds maybe 50, 60,000. And I'd say maybe less than 10% at most matches are actually engaging in sectarian behaviour. So it's very much a case of the tail is wagging the dog. And what we need to kind of see is we need to kind of see football fans, honest football fans who want to go support their team. You know, there's nothing wrong with supporting Rangers, nothing wrong with supporting Celtic. Nothing wrong with that at all. You shouldn't feel ashamed about it. It's amazing in this job when people say to me, oh, I'm a Celtic or Rangers fan, they almost feel to go, but I'm not a bigot. I think, well, statistically the chances are you won't be, because the majority of fans aren't. But what I'm trying to say to these decent fans who watch the game, there's lots of things that have been done in your name. A small, vocal minority group of people are claiming to speak for your club and represent the be-all and end-all of your club. How are you going to take it back from them? What are you going to do? So we've actually called for the government to fund groups, supporters and fans group, to run their own initiatives. Okay, to treat the fans as grown-ups and say, look, you have a problem here, can you help us deal with it? And we feel that would be a more progressive way of kind of tackling the problem.
Change often needs motivation, but what made people take a stance against sectarianism?
Yeah, I was a ball boy when I was 1977, 78 at Firhill, and every time Celtic and Rangers came to Firhill, it was like a big day for Partick Thistle, it was a big day for the club. But there was sections of the support that used to treat the ball boys really bad. Probably spit on them, call them names, do different things, you know what I mean? And unknown to me at that age, this was all wrapped up with sectarian attitude and the bigoted attitude, you know what I mean? The poisonous thing that's out there that makes people react like that. I don't know if it's maybe a lot of people just on a Saturday.
Well, personally, I grew up in Northern Ireland, so I spent 20 years of my life in the second half of what we call the Troubles, where you had a society deeply divided by religious and cultural intolerance. When I was 20, I moved to Scotland to study at university, and I was quite shocked one afternoon when I went down to watch an Old Firm football match by the sheer bile that I heard in the Students' Union bar. and you're sitting in Stirling University in 1999, the dawn of a new millennium, listening to people sing songs about 6 million Jews and it should have been Protestants, calling each other orange bastards, Fenian bastards. And you kind of think, you know, I thought I'd escaped this madness, but it became clear to me that Scotland certainly had a problem.
The meaning of sectarianism is often a grey area, with people having different definitions of the word.
It's division and intolerance, really. Unfortunately, throughout history, division has been the way forward for societies. They've had to divide societies to be able to control societies.
Quite often I find people use definitions of sectarianism to suit their own prejudice and intolerances. For Neil, by most part, I think we see sectarianism as a fusion of religion, politics, cultural identity and ignorance that quite often transcends traditional dictionary definition.
A day at the match should be an enjoyable experience, so what do fans think makes a good day out?
Well, it's the atmosphere, really. I mean, if you can get it going. But the favourite thing's the football, and if you don't have attractive football, then it's no use coming.
Getting a win.
Getting a win.
Making a day of it.
Making a day of it.
Pub bookies.
It's all about the team playing well and the atmosphere, a good pie and a bit of friendly banter.